Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Taisho Alice, and we are just continuing Snow's Route where we left off, so let's just get right in. On the way home after parting ways with Snow White, I was lost in thought. What's the matter? I don't think I should have forced him to do that. Thinking back, there was something unnatural about Snow White's behavior tonight. Sure, he was smiling, but Snow White wasn't the type who smiled a lot. Generally, he only ever smiled when he was talking about his old friend, or maybe when he was a tiny bit embarrassed. Unless you counted that self-deprecating smile I saw the day I met his mother. There's gotta be something more to it. I stopped short. You should never force people to do things they don't want to do. Okay. Lessons. If I turn back now, could I still make it in time? In the end, I caved and accepted her apple pie. What do I do with this? I couldn't take it home with me. If Mother were to see it, there'd be no telling what she'd say. What would she think if she found out who made it for me? Honestly, I should have dropped it in the lake after she went home. That way, it could feed the fish, and no one would end up getting hurt. Nestled in the wicker basket, the apple pie looked picture perfect. A strong, sugary fragrance wafted from it. Maybe just a little? Once upon a time, I dearly loved apple pie. But everything your mother makes is rotten, so I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this? I cut a slice of pie and held it up to my mouth. It honestly looked delicious. My hand was shaking. I was terrified knowing what would come next. Nom. I bit into the crispy crust. The next instant, an intensely bitter flavor overwhelmed my tongue as a putrid smell clogged my nostrils. My body rejected the food and I spit it out on the spot. Then my stomach emptied its entire contents. Could you imagine? Also, how would you live? Eventually I couldn't bear to stand and I collapsed to my hands and knees. Just as I thought. Not even her cooking was good enough for my body. Oh, I really thought we would have magic touch, but I guess not. I let out a self-deprecating laugh. How pathetic. She went to all that trouble to make it for me, and I couldn't even eat the damn thing. As my vision blurred and I struggled to breathe, I looked down at the ground. I had tarnished her apple pie with my own vomit. I couldn't let her see me like this. If she realized how disgusting I was, my life was over. I needed to hurry home. I pushed myself up with my arms. But then my strength gave out and I collapsed back to the ground like the weakling I was. Snow White! Turning in the direction of the voice, I saw her running toward me. Why? What piss-poor timing. What piss-poor timing coming out of his mouth. She was the last person I wanted to see me like this. When I ran back after Snow White, I discovered him collapsed on the ground, having puked up a part of the apple pie. Snow White! Hastily, I ran over and put my hands on his slender shoulders. His porcelain face was now white as a ghost, and he was barely breathing. Are you okay? I'm fine. I took his hand and checked his pulse. Pulse seems normal. Red, I need some water over here. Understood. I took off my riding hood and wrapped it around Snow White to keep him warm. You don't have to. Yes, I do! Or yes, I do! That was better. Cradling his head in my hands, I laid him down onto my lap. This should help. I took out my handkerchief and wiped his mouth. Now your handkerchief's dirty. Guess what? That's what they're there for. He didn't say another word after that. Gently, I stroked his hair. Like, more power to her to be able to wipe up someone's vomit, and I'm gonna gag. Vomit is just, I can't. Or, like, spit. Just, like, I can't. I don't know what it is about, like, I don't understand why in movies, if someone's vomiting, they have to show it. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking vomit just thinking about it. Like, I don't know why. It just makes my stomach lurch. But it's also the same, like, when we play these games and they're like, then they talk about the spit trail. When they're kissing, I'm going to gag. I don't know why that bothers me. But it's just a visceral, like, gut reaction. It's going to make me want to hurl. And, like, I don't like the sound if you're watching a movie of people, like, gagging, you're like, or vomiting, you're like, but it's the, why do you have to show it? I don't need, you can show them in a corner with their head down. You don't have to show them, I know what's happening. I don't need the visual. The visual makes me want to, like, so I can't stand, like, I would not be a good person to be like, oh, you're sick, let me clean up. No, I can't. Can't do it. Can't do it. Like, even cat puke, oh god. And it's all, like, warm and okay, let's just not go there, but, like, I can't do it. Vomit, spit, I can't do it. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but ugh. So, like, more power to her to be able to, like, wipe up some vomit and just like, oh, I'll wash my handkerchief. I'd be gagging just doing that. Be like, it's not because I think it's gross that you threw up. I do think throw up is gross. I still feel bad for you, but I'm going to throw up too now. Like, his body was very thin compared to the average guy our age. For some reason, this struck me as painfully sad. There was a long, long silence until at last I broke it. Feel better now? Yeah, he whispered in a tiny voice. I'm sorry. You worked so hard to make that pie and I wasted it. I don't mind. I can make you another one anytime. Maybe now is the time you tell us that food makes you vomit. If anything, I should apologize to you. I had no clue you weren't feeling well. It's not your fault. Well, it's not yours either. He's like, yes, it is. You don't think I'm disgusting? Because you threw up? Why would I? I mean, just look at me. Everyone gets sick to their stomach now and then. It's not that. He denied it firmly. It's not that at all. Huh? I don't feel sick. I didn't understand. For some reason, it seemed like he wasn't just saying that to make me feel better. And to be fair, I did notice that he wasn't running a fever. As he lay on his side, it was impossible for me to read his expression. But I could faintly see his long eyelashes, and unless I was seeing things, it looked like they were trembling. Why do you keep trying to worm your way into my heart? Huh? You were supposed to be the untouchable princess I could never have. Well, what's gotten into you all... Oh, that's me. I was like, wait, what? What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Rotten apple pie. Well, that actually went in and then out real fast, so... That apple pie you made was disgusting. Ouch. The next night, when I arrived at the lake like usual, Snow White was nowhere to be seen. Snow White? The same thing happened again the next night. And the night after that. And the night after that. So he said something mean and then never showed up again. Hey, Spacey. How many years ago was it that you first met him? About 6, I'd say. And he's been asleep all this time? Yeah, he was always a smart kid, Sharp as a tack with very keen insight. Oh my god, we are in a dream, aren't we? Are we in his dream? Did we eat a... Once he discovered the whole truth, he chose to keep sleeping instead. He sounds like a nice guy. I bet I could fall in love with him. Did we fall into a dream too? Into his dream? Because, like, Ryoshi is actually our brother. And then, like, Snow White remembers him. And was told, like, Ryoshi probably told him about his sister. So that's all... Like, whatever. And this is a memory that we have. Or, like, we think it's a dream. But we're remembering this. And, like, Red Riding Hood and all of them are brothers in a dream. Oh, okay. Okay. But I'm curious as to how we ended up with the same fever dream here. Okay. Anyway. Do you want to help him, big brother? If there was a way to wake him, would you go for it? Spacey, stop. Because I want to help him. Spacey, don't stick your nose in this. His solution was to sleep, okay? There's no point in provoking him and causing trouble all over again. But it's not a solution. He's just sleeping. It's not going to heal him. I know you know that. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Show me what I want to see. Tell me what I want to hear. Tucking my knees up to my chin, I hunched myself into a little ball. You're not going to the lake tonight? I know, like, before Ryoshi's voice was sounded too much like Red, so it's weird. No. Why not? At this, I hunched down even smaller. I humiliated myself. Now she totally hates me. What are you, 5? I could hear Ryoshi scoffing at me, but I felt no anger. I knew I was acting childish. He was preaching to the choir. Yet despite my silence, he seemed to see right through me. She's probably at the lake waiting for you, you know. Why would she? For the same reason as you, I imagine. What do you mean? She's not me. Yeah, I know she's not you, and that's why she's there. She was different. Different from my mother. Different from Ryoshi. That was what drew me to her. A magnetic pull I couldn't resist. Hey, Huntsman, who even is she? She showed up out of nowhere and set off a chain reaction that changed my world. At first I was purely curious. But the more I learned about her, the more I wanted to know. The next thing I knew, I was spending every waking minute thinking about her, hanging off her every word. But she's an anomaly. If I spend any more time with her, my world will fall apart. Yeah, you'll want to wake up, right? Late that night, I pulled my apple pie out of the fridge. Appearance-wise, it looked normal. The crust was baked to a perfect golden brown. As for the inside, well, when I cut a slice, it looked normal too. This time I left the skin on the apples, which added a bright pop of color and made the filling more syrupy. Hey, Spacey! Can I talk to you? Perfect timing, Cinderella. Huh? Here, try a bite of this. Open wide and say, ah! I scooped up a bite of my finished apple pie and brought it to his lips. Huh? He hesitated for a moment, then closed his eyes and opened his mouth. Okay, now be honest. Is it gross? I waited until he had chewed and swallowed before asking. It tastes a little bit like you scraped some vomit off of it. Tastes good to me. See, that's what I thought. Humble brag much? Can't do his voice quite well right now. I took a bite of my own pie. But no matter how many times I tried it, the result was always the same. It just tasted like an ordinary, perfectly good apple pie. Maybe the cinnamon's where I went wrong. After all, some people's constitutions couldn't handle certain spices. But then I remembered that Snow White's mother had definitely put cinnamon in hers, so I decided that couldn't be it. What's up with the pie? His voice was a shade more gentle than usual. Oh, really? Whoops. Someone told me my apple pie was gross. Maybe you switched up the sugar and salt by accident. No, I definitely didn't. I tasted it myself. After all, it was a gift for a friend. Obviously, I was going to taste test it first. Oh, maybe she just brought him a slice. She said, like, I brought him an apple pie. Maybe she just brought him a slice of pie. That would make more sense, and here's a whole fucking pie. Thanks, but what am I doing with this? Except in the case of, like, cheesecake. Bring me a whole fucking cheesecake. Here, I brought you a slice. Bitch, I want the whole fucking thing! Well, my friends came over the last time they came over. Like, they brought me a cheesecake, and it was just so dangerous. You're like, yeah, okay, I'll keep, like, a piece out, and I'll freeze the rest. And then the next thing you know, you're like, it's been 3 days, and it's all gone. Because you're like, I'm just going to take this out, and this has, like, 2 pieces. I'm just going to eat them all now. Don't ever. Cheesecake is dangerous. And then maybe they just don't like apple pie. No way. I was told it was their favorite. Obviously, no two pies are ever exactly alike, but that apple... Oh, that apple pie you made was disgusting. I never thought he'd be so harsh. But honestly, if that was my only problem, then I would have gotten over it by now. My real problem was that he'd stopped coming to the lake. Wow. Maybe he hates me now. Let me guess. You're talking about your Prince Charming. Yeah. Well, sometimes your crush just doesn't like you back. It's part of life and you gotta let it go. He cheerfully clapped me on the back. Fucking Cinderella, like, it's okay, partner. Sometimes people just don't like you. You'll be fine. And then just walks away. Why do I just feel like that's such a Cinderella fucking thing to do? And you're like, that's not helping. Gretel would be like, ugh, God, it's better. He was gross. Now you're all mine, sister. Red would just be like, I don't know how to deal with this. But like Cinderella just being like, whatever. Too bad, buddy. He doesn't like me back? To me, this was the worst case scenario. My life. Tears sprang to my eyes. Also my life, but totally different things. Tears just spring to my eyes at all times. It's Monday. The next instant, Kaguya and Red Riding Hood raced into the room. Apparently they'd been listening just outside the door. No, Cinderella. I told you can't be that blunt with her. He's right. After putting up with his fickle demands night after night, she won't want to accept that he's rejected her. Red Riding Hood! I can't do Kaguya's voice right now. Huh? I'm sorry. But it was too late. Oh, that was more like... like I'm laughing and crying. My vision had gone blurry. Oh, Puppet, don't fret. There's plenty more fish in the sea. You'll get the next one. But I don't want fish. I want Snow White. Forget about him. He was just toying with you anyway. Please don't let him get you down. He was toying with me? I know it hurts right now, but time heals all wounds. Any guy who rejects you isn't worth your time. Cinderella, thank you. Yes. Like, time does heal all wounds. But mostly. Sometimes they're just like, it's not fine. Like, broken-hearted wounds, yes, because, they're not the right person for you, and it hurts at first, and then you get over it, and you're like, oh yeah, no, that was I was being ridiculous. But it doesn't heal all wounds, like, when you lose people that you love. And I don't mean like, oh my god, we broke up. Eventually you'll get over it. It's the death things. That doesn't really heal. Time does not heal those wounds. Those hurt. Forever. You're welcome. But they do. Like, you'll get to the point where you're like, I'm fine most days, but then you're going to have those moments where you're like, it's just, really? Why? And then you just have those days where you can't deal. But, for the most part, time heals all wounds. But any guy who rejects you isn't worth your time. That's true. And any girl who rejects you isn't worth your time. Because if they were, they wouldn't reject you and they'd want to take your time, right? To get to know you, have fun. So there you go. So sort of wise words from Cinderella, but I mean, what he's actually talking about romance-wise, yes, absolutely. Like, healing the wounds of, like, when people die is, yeah, but it's still gonna hurt, like, 10 years later, Like, it's gonna be like a kick in the gut every once in a while, but, As it turned out, Cinderella was perhaps the most sensible person in the whole family. But they were all assuming that Snow White had rejected me. I guess that's how it looks to everyone else. I mean, he kinda did. Even if he was just rejecting you to protect himself or out of fear, he kinda did reject you. Some people will reject you because, like, no, I just don't like you. And some people will do what Snow White did and out of fear, whatever, reject you and then be like, yeah, that was a bad idea. Yeah, but I'm going to need you to not dick with me, okay? Having lost the strength to stand, I slumped to my knees. Oh no, Puppet, are you alright? Why can't I do Kaguya's voice right now? Anyway. He hates me. I couldn't possibly recover. He wanted nothing to do with me, and there was no coming back from that. Yeah, I reckon so. I like how it's Kaguya? Is there a question mark there? Then Kaguya delivered the final blow, and I toppled over onto the floor. Way to go, Kaguya. Puppet? Puppet! You're such a jerk, Kaguya! He kinda is. Right now. How can you pretend to be worried about me after what you just said? What kind of sadist are you? And quit shaking me by the shoulders. You're gonna make my head fall off. Gretel, could you stop copying my accent? You're taking the piss. Oh, that's why it was question mark. Wait. That's why it's question mark. Yeah, I reckon so. That really was a Gretel thing to say. I was like, damn, Kaguya, what the fuck? Savage. That's because it was Gretel. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, nice one, game. Gretel, could you stop copying my accent? You're taking the piss. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Where did you come from? The next thing I knew, Gretel was smiling down at me from above. I mean, he is a sadist, so yeah. Gretel. Good grief, look at you. Scowling, he drew near. Don't give me those puppy dog eyes, alright? What am I gonna do with you? Probably lock me in a cage in a cottage in the woods somewhere. See, look, and then he's looking at you with that face like, exactly. As he spoke, he pushed a piece of cookie into my mouth. It's good. Of course it is. If you told me it was disgusting, I'd have to wonder if you had dysfunctional taste buds. Is that even possible? Dysgeusia? Dysgeusia? Is that what it is? It's called some word I can't fucking pronounce, but whatever. Some people lose their sense of taste altogether. To them, it changes the taste of their food. That said, symptoms vary wildly from person to person. Some people lose the ability to taste specific flavors, while others struggle to taste anything at all. And for some people, it makes everything taste rancid. His words reverberated in my mind. Then I thought back to Snow White's reaction to my apple pie. Does any of this sound familiar to you, Puppet? He puked up my apple pie. Ew! And he never ate any of my other food. So you suspect dysgeusia? I don't know if that's how you say it, but whatever. Might be the reason he didn't enjoy your apple pie. Or I reckon he could have an eating disorder as well. Oh, like the one girls get when they're scared of getting fat. What's it called? Bulimia, when they make themselves puke after every meal. Cinderella, you say this too cheerily. That was just me reading it that way. I'm an asshole. Yeah, something like that. But he's already very slim, and a man at that. Okay! Red Riding Hood? Men can have body confidence issues too, sweetie. Snow White actually does have them because he's very thin and frail and gets very upset when people think he's a girl. He has body image issues, and men can suffer from anorexia and bulimia too. Don't be sexist, okay? Don't be sexist, Red Riding Hood. We don't stand that here. Men can have eating disorders too, though it's not as common. And when you have one, you always feel like you're fat no matter how thin you actually are, which is the scariest part of it. It really is. Like, I see. Personally, I think it's healthy for women to have a little extra padding. Trying to suck up for extra romance points, dear brother. Oh, broman points. Do you mean to say I'm masculine? Dude! And there's no such thing as broman points. You know, speaking of nasty apple pies, there's that one you brought home the other day. Yeah. Wait, what? She brought home an apple pie someone else made, but the thing was utterly inedible. So maybe whoever made it has broken taste buds too. Either that, or perhaps they pulled a nasty prank on our puppet. Wow, that's dark, man. But of course, if anyone here is dark and twisted, it's our beloved Kaguya. Coming from Gretel? The fuck? Not at the moment, but if you keep taking the piss, I reckon I might get there. So tell us, is it really dysgeusia? Whatever the hell that is. I can't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but like, fuck it. If I'm not, it's not gonna matter by the time you see this, so. I don't know. Wait, so it's possible the dude didn't reject you after all? Well, he didn't say so point blank. I'm not totally in the loop, but if your Prince Charming didn't shoot you down, then maybe you just gotta pay him a visit. At this, I gasped. Why are you looking at me like that? It's like a veil has been lifted. No, seriously. Why didn't I ever think to go to his house? Because you have boundaries. And like, I mean, after a couple of days, maybe you go and you're like, look, can we just talk about this? And then he's like, listen, I rejected you. But like, stalking someone's not good either. There's lines. You got to figure out where they are. And sometimes it's hard. And sometimes it's best to err on the side of caution instead of, stalking someone. I'm just like, I knew where he lived and I was on friendly terms with his mother. Okay, so she's at least thinking about it. Like, I guess it would be okay. If he wasn't going to come to see me, I could simply take matters into my own hands. Then I can ask him flat out whether he was interested in me or not. Well, what about the cafe? Oh, that's me. But what about the cafe? Well, you're a poster girl. If you're not wearing your usual sunny smile, our sales will take a hit either way. You're the best, big brother! I gave Cinderella a big hug. What sales? The cafe's dead, remember? Zip it, you! I traveled through the dim forest along the edge of the lake until I arrived at an elegant mansion that looked utterly out of place. This wasn't the house where Snow White lived. Oh, this was. I was like, what? Okay, this was the house where Snow White lived. I can't read. If I hadn't met Snow White's mother entirely by chance, I wouldn't be standing here right now. But the question remained, would Snow White agree to speak with me? I took a deep breath and then... Hello? I knocked on the door. After a moment, I heard sounds coming from inside. Coming! Who is it? It's me again, Spacey Arisu, the girl you... Arisu? The door suddenly whipped open. You came to visit! Thank you so much! Whoa! As soon as she laid eyes on me, Mother pulled me into a hug. Well, at least she's happy to see me. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just so happy to see you. It's okay. No, don't be shy. Come on in. I'm not sure if I trust her or not. Without further ado, she invited me into her house, almost like I was an old friend. This was no time for me to get cold feet. Thank you. So I took my shoes off and walked right in. She led me down the entrance hall to the spacious living room. You wait right here. I'll make some... Actually, I cut in abruptly. As she tilted her head at me in confusion, I pulled a dessert box from my bag. Smiling, I held it out to her. This is to thank you for the other day. I hope you like it. I had bought it from a fancy bakery Gretel recommended to me. Ideally, I would have liked to make her something myself, but after Snow White torpedoed my self-confidence, I didn't want to risk it. Goodness, you didn't have to. Why does she look sus right there? Oh, I recognize this bakery. I love the wonderful desserts they make. Thank you. And thank you, Gretel. I'm glad you like it. I replied modestly to hide my inner glee. Well then, we can eat these together. In just a moment. Need any help with anything? No need. You just sit tight. Carrying my gift, she disappeared into the kitchen. Phew. Once she was gone, I let out the breath I was holding. Only a few minutes had passed since I arrived, yet I was already exhausted. This woman seemed to have some hidden depths to her, but personally, I liked her quite a bit. I appreciated her frank, straightforward attitude. But at the same time, she was the mother of my crush. So obviously I couldn't help but feel nervous. Not only that, but said crush was currently ghosting me, and probably on purpose too. As I waited for Mother to return, I continually scanned the room. On the south side of the living room was a cozy little sunroom, and to the north was the dining area. If I had to guess, the kitchen was in the next room over. Everything about it screamed, "Rich people house!" Come to think of it, despite the size of this mansion, I had yet to encounter anyone outside of Snow White and his mother. Sorry for the wait. Oh no, don't be. When Mother returned, I straightened my posture and donned a polite smile. I had a lot on my mind at the moment, but for now, the most pressing issue was Snow White himself. I needed to find the right timing to bring him up so I could go see him. Say, and that reminds me, how was the apple pie? Just then she changed the subject. Oh, tell her it was yummy. Oh, it was great. Good for us. I answered with a smile. Was it? Oh, I'm so glad. I'll make you another one anytime you like, so just say the word. Will do, thanks. Judging from her behavior, she really didn't seem to have pulled a prank on purpose. Was it just an accident? As I sipped my tea, I observed her carefully. Could you imagine having whatever dysgeusia is or whatever? I can understand if it made certain food taste weird, like, you'd have to adjust, but it makes everything taste rancid? How do you fucking eat? Like, how do you deal with that? Because you would think it would make water taste weird, because, like, water doesn't have a taste, but it kind of does. You know what I mean? It doesn't just taste like nothing, but, like... So if it fucks up your taste buds, like, how do you do that? How do you survive? Like, you can't just be on an IV drip for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Like, you have to manage somehow. How do you manage? Again, if it's like, oh, it makes, like, fruit taste weird or certain things, but, like, if it makes everything taste rancid, that would just suck. I mean, like, look, I would never want anything like that. You'd be like, it's a great diet, though, because then you don't want to eat chocolate or, like, junk food because it doesn't taste good. And that's the problem with food. It tastes good, and that's why you eat too much of it. But, like, I'd rather just get some willpower than be like, everything tastes rancid. And then every time I eat anything else, like, that would suck. That just sounds like it sucks. And no. Just give me some willpower. Not some kind of weird fucking, like, taste bud disorder, okay? Like, anyway. As I sipped my tea, I observed her carefully. She cheerfully munched on one of the sandwich cookies I had brought from the bakery. How is it? Oh, it's marvelous! She didn't appear to be lying. In other words, her taste buds were clearly functional. After another sip of tea, I took a breath and... About Snow White. Oh, that reminds me! Once again, Mother interrupted. What is it? And guess what? I bought some clothes for you, Orisu. What? My facade slipped. As for what happened after that, well... How do I look? Mother led me to her bedroom where she made me try on clothes for more than an hour. I mean, she feeds me pie and dresses me up. Is she trying to fatten me up so she can bake me into a pie? Because, like, then I'd be worried, but otherwise it's like, I mean, I'm not going to complain. You feed me treats and dress me up. I mean, alright. I'll come live here. Like... Currently, I was wearing a strapless mini dress and a flower crown. The skirt was poofy and layered, almost like a tutu. Very kawaii. Cute. Kawaii. We all know what kawaii means. He's so cute! You're like a little fairy! Meanwhile, Mother was over the moon. Mother? Next, let's do this one! With a big smile, she handed me another frilly dress. Okay. I know, I want to dress up in frilly dresses. You know you kind of want to, but you're like, what's the purpose? Like, unless you're, like, did anyone else ever do this? Like, I was fat in high school, and, like, they didn't really, at the time, have a lot of variety of things for overweight people. This is, like, in the day before, like, all the stores started carrying plus size, and it was, like, hey, maybe like there are people who are plus size who aren't 45-year-old office worker ladies named Carol. You know, maybe there are fat teenagers and these poor fat teenagers want to actually dress nice and trendy too. Like, and then you had stores like Torrid and like other stores carried extended sizes and like, yeah, most of it's online now, but you can still buy plus size fucking almost everywhere, right? You know? Even if it's limited, even if certain stores are like, well, we have like a few, not everything's plus size, but a few things in plus size, you at least have options. We did not have these options. So it was extremely difficult to find things like prom dresses and shit, okay? So every other girl had like pretty prom dresses, and like, I did not, okay? Like, and it sucked, all right? It sucked. So like in college, when like things were starting to be like, oh, they actually had more kind of like plus size dresses, still not quite as many, but there was a little more options. My friends and I would go to like department stores and shit at the mall and like just try on prom dresses. Just want to try on ball gowns because we never got to wear them. And there's a part of me that's like, I kind of just want to get a ball gown and then just like, even like a cheap one. Like I'm going to go to AliExpress or Wish and just get a cheap ass prom dress and just be like, now I'm going to vacuum in it. Like, I don't know. It's like that episode of Friends where like everybody was sitting around in their house wearing wedding dresses. Except for that makes you look crazy. People are like, oh my, wait, what, you just bought a cheap wedding dress and you wear it around your, what are you, fucking crazy? And like, that makes people think you're nutter butters, but like a prom dress is different. Or like a ball gown. You're like, yeah, I'm wearing a ball gown. What's your fucking problem? Like, do you imagine? Somebody knocks on your door and you're like, I can explain. And they're like, no, I would do it too. Like, do men do that? Not like want to put on a ball dress. I mean, maybe. But like, are men ever like, I just want to put on a suit? Because like, I never wear suits, but I just want to put on a tux or a suit and feel fancy. Do you ever just want to feel fancy? Anyway. So yeah, I would totally like this dress up time. Like, it would be absolutely fun. Defeated, I nodded meekly. Oh, wait. Okay, defeated, I nodded. Okay, I forgot because I got rampaging. Anyway. Not that I didn't appreciate her calling me cute, but when she said it over and over, it started to lose all meaning. As I changed into the next outfit, I glanced around. Green curtains hung against the ebony window frame. Sunlight streamed in through the glass, illuminating the room. The interior featured a four-poster bed and a plain wooden table. A large mirror hung on the bright white wall. The room was luxuriously furnished, not to a tacky extent, but elegant and carefully balanced. Wasn't this our room? Or was our room a different color? I thought it was our room. Mother rifled through the closet, looking for my next outfit. How many more was she planning to subject me to? The bed was covered in my previous outfits. Cutesy frills and ribbons, pretty flower corsages, delicate lace, sparkly beads and jewelry. This sounds amazing. It was everything a girl could ever dream of. Even if sometimes I want to rock like a sexy pantsuit, other times you just want to wear sparkly frilly things. Look, it's okay to be eclectic in your style. How do I look? Once I had finished changing, I called out to Mother, who glanced back with a smile. You're so cute! But it feels like something's missing. This time her reaction was slightly different. She walked up to me and looked me up and down. Oh, I know! Then she walked to the desk, opened a drawer, and took out a small box. Inside was a hair ornament in the shape of a butterfly. She took it out and affixed it to my head. There! And now we'd better make your hairstyle match, don't you think? Yes, please. I nodded and sat down in the chair. As I straightened my posture, Mother walked up behind me. Having fun, are we? I kept my tone bright so it wouldn't sound sarcastic. Oh yes, lots of fun. Slowly she began to brush my hair. I'm sorry for subjecting you to my silly whims. Thank you for humoring me. Oh, it's no problem. I'm having fun trying on all these different dresses. Really? You're not sick of playing dress up with some old lady? No old ladies detected. Well, thank you. Me, every time someone says I don't look old. I mean... Your hair certainly has a lot of volume, doesn't it? Tell me about it. It's so thick and hard to manage. She's going to choke me with my own hair if we don't stop. Trust me, it's better than the alternative. At least thick hair gives you options when it comes to styles. Yeah, seriously, having thin, fine hair, you're like, let me put it up in a ponytail, falls out. Okay, or not. Ponytail, half ponytail, side pony, fishtail braids, French braid, pigtails, buns. Oh, it's so lovely to be a girl, or a guy with really long, sexy hair. And you, my dear, are the loveliest of all. That light, fluffy hair, those sparkling gemstone eyes. Oh, she's going to kill us. This is starting to sound creepier as it goes. She's probably going to be, like, nice the whole way through, but I'm just slightly scared. Why, you're like a princess from a picture book. Aw, thank you. This warmed my heart. Truth be told, she was every bit as strange as her son, but I still really liked her. When I was a girl, I had a dream. You see, my family ran an inn, so I wasn't always allowed to do the things I wanted to do. My parents were very strict and traditional. While my peers were allowed to play house with their dolls, I attended lessons. The only hobby they allowed me to have was reading, probably because it was educational, I suppose. And when I was little, oh, I loved to read. One thing in particular was my absolute favorite. Can you guess? Fairy tales? That's right! My favorite fairy tales were the ones that had a princess. Stories of girls who overcame adversity in pursuit of true happiness. Those princesses taught me that I was allowed to dream. That for every girl whose life was dull and drab, a world of magic was waiting just around the corner. That's wonderful. Isn't it? And so I started to want more out of life. I wanted a handsome prince to come and rescue me. The years passed and I grew up. I met a man. Oh, and after I grew up, sorry. He was a prince from a faraway land with radiant hair and sparkling eyes. For him, I gave up everything. My family, my friends, everything that chained me down. But in return, he made my dreams come true. Banquets and balls, beautiful dresses, and a house as big as a castle. I was happy, and I was so sure it would last forever. But it was all just a dream. In the end, I wasn't a princess. Anyway, sorry to be such a downer. No. There, all done. What do you think? She handed me a mirror. There, I saw she had tied my hair up in elegant braids. Paired with the butterfly hair ornament, it was a very girly style. I'm so cute! Normally I wouldn't brag about myself like this, but she really left me no choice. Aren't you? She giggled, delighted. I giggled too. Well, see, if someone does your hair, you'll be like, I'm so cute. You'll be like, oh my god, it's so cute. Your hair. What they did. You don't say, I'm so cute. You say, my hair is so cute, because you're giving them credit for what they did instead of being like taking all the credit for just, well, it doesn't matter what you do to my hair, I'm fucking cute. Like, you know what I mean? It sounds dickish when you say that. Now then, we've tried our hand at girly, so maybe it's time to try a more chaste style. That sounds great. Let's do it. Bring it on. At this point, my only option was to stick it out until Mother got tired. But first, come to think of it, what's your son up to today? I hit her with an impromptu question. No lead-up whatsoever. Snow White? Well, he's in his room, I'm afraid. I did let him know you were here, but he wouldn't come out. I guess he's too shy. Gotcha. Clearly he was, in fact, avoiding me. Did you need him for something? For a moment I debated telling her the truth. No, that's okay. But then I decided against it. If he didn't want to see me, then there was no point trying to force it. For now, anyway. I like that. For now. For now. After that, I tried on 5 or 6 more dresses before we finally decided to call it a night. If you liked any of the dresses, you go ahead and take them home with you. No, I couldn't possibly, as I'm piling my arm. No, I couldn't possibly. Do you have a bag for these? I shook my head vigorously. I always thought Cinderella was the only person crazy enough to give such lavish gifts. Well, outside of an oil baron or something. But evidently I was wrong. And there's no need to be shy, you know. Disappointed, she frowned. I swear it's like rich people live on a different planet. I know, don't you want to live on that planet too? Man, I want to be a rich people. Oh, then how about the hair ornament? Oh, right. It wasn't until she pointed it out that I realized I was still wearing it, even after I changed back into my normal clothes. After all, I'd left my hair as is. Would that be okay with you? Oh, would that be okay with you? Of course! I'm sure I'd be much happier on your head instead of being cooped up in that box. Besides, it doesn't look good on me anymore. Phew. In the end, I never got the chance to speak with Snow White. Instead, I enjoyed the night of dress-up with his mother. The end. Out of nowhere, my head started to ache. I pressed a hand at my temple. Maybe it's all the stress. I'm home! Oh, welcome back, Puppet. How'd it go? Did you speak with Snow White? As soon as I arrived at the cafe, I suddenly collapsed on the spot. You alright? I'm okay. Thanks. When I looked up, I saw Kaguya's expression freeze. What's wrong? Don't be alarmed, Puppet. Just stay still. I don't know how to shriek like Kaguya, so he shrieked like a girl, I guess. His face was as white as a sheet. What is it? Kaguya hardly ever lost his composure, so this was highly unusual. It's the butterfly. His mother's trying to keep him in this dream, somehow. He stared at me intently, his trademark smile nowhere to be seen, and she tried to poison us with the pie, so maybe that would have woken us up from this weird dream thing. Or now, like, the butterfly, like, she's trying to, like, poison us or some shit. I don't know. I did read this, right? He stared at me intently. Okay, I think so. And then, the next instant, I caught a glimpse of something out of the corner of my eye and bit back a scream. A giant moth was crawling around on my head. Nasty creature! Get away from my puppet! Hey, moths are not nasty creatures. Maybe if this is an evil one, but moths and butterflies are like, just because a moth isn't as beautiful as a butterfly doesn't mean they're not nice. I took this as my cue to squeeze my eyes shut. A few moments later, it's all right now. Kaguya reassured me gently. Slowly I opened my eyes to find Kaguya looking back at me with a pained smile on his face. What happened to the moth? Caught him and took him outside. Oh, Kaguya. Unable to bear it, I threw my arms around him. There. Scary, wasn't it? But it's all right now, love. He wrapped his arms around me in a tight hug. I could tell he was scared too, but he still chose to protect me. Okay, I know that, like, they're all our brothers, supposedly, in this. I put the air quotes around it because it's a dream, but, like, this is, like, the closest to the harem we're ever gonna get, huh? Seriously? Why on earth was there a moth on my head? Just then I realized. I hastily reached up and touched my hair. Oh, what's wrong? It's gone. Mother's butterfly hair ornament had vanished into thin air. This is weird. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Show me what I want to see. Tell me what I want to hear. Maybe we have to fall in the lake to wake up. Didn't we have to, like, fall into the lake in somebody else's route to do something? Get a clue. Wasn't it in Red's route? We fell into the lake? I don't remember. Anyway. When I opened the door, the first thing... Oh, no. Or Snow White, I forgot for a second. When I opened the door, the first thing I saw was a mountain of fanciful dresses. Oh, what's with all these dresses? I called out to my mother, but she had her back turned, and she didn't respond. I had a bad feeling about this. Did she come here and try them on? At my second question, my mother spun around with a smile. She sure did. When I saw her head on, I was stunned. Her silver hair had turned raven black. Oh my god, what? Skin as white as snow. Red rosy cheeks. Ebony hair. Oh my god, is she sucking the life out of us? Like the butterfly moth, like the moth is gonna suck the life out of me? She was my own mother, yet she looked nothing like me. How? Why would I ask her that? Didn't I know this would happen? After all, the more time I spent with her, the more she would unlock my repressed memories until eventually we traded places. She's an evil witch. I told you! I didn't trust her! She's too fucking nice. That fluffy hair. And those sparkling gemstone eyes. She's the perfect doll. Yes, she's a bona fide princess. My mother spoke, entranced. Her soft, gentle voice never wavered. So, like, okay, but if we're, like, in a dream world or whatever, is she, like, she was kind of upset, maybe, that she didn't have a daughter, so she couldn't, like, trade places and suck the life out of the daughter? Oh, I had a son, and I love him, and I keep him inside, you know, whatever. But she is trying to trade places with him, but then she's using... I don't know what's happening, but anyway, there's some weird thing going on. Her soft, gentle voice never wavered. She was now fully restored to her former beauty. Oh, I hope she'll be back again. And there's so many more dresses I'd like her to wear. More treats I'd like to make. And yet, why is it you're here? She looked at me coldly as her words pierced me like so many tiny icicles. Mother? Don't you call me that! Her scream made me flinch. The kind woman who loved me was no more. I'm not your damn... Abruptly, she clutched her head. What's wrong? My head. It hurts. As she spoke, she crumpled to the floor. I ran over and pulled her into a hug. This is kind of sad, like... Because, I mean, like, I want to instantly be like, why the fuck would you, like, go and help her? And then it's like, abused children, though. Like, how abusive and awful and terrible your parents can be to you. And then you're still like, oh no, mommy got hurt. And, like, they still love their parents. And they still love them and care for them. Even though in the back of their mind somewhere, they're like, my parents are abusive dicks. But they still just want to be loved by their parents. And they still like... Oh, mommy, it's okay, even though mommy's an abusive asshole. Oh my god, it's so awful. It's so awful. He's like an adult, but he's been conditioned his whole life. You're like, oh, it's so hard. Oh, you just think of poor baby Snow White, right? Little baby Snow White, it was probably being like... Or, this is odd for her. He did say, like, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, maybe she's not really as... I'm not your damn mother! Like, stepmother. That was Snow White's thing, right? So, Mother, I'm sorry. Please, don't turn into someone else. Okay, there's some weird shit going on. Snow White's mother had given me two things, an apple pie and a hair ornament. Both of these things looked perfectly ordinary at first glance, yet transformed into something malicious, like things do in dreams. Truth be told, something felt very, very wrong. And like maybe she's trying to suck our soul out. She's like a dream soul sucker, I don't know. And frankly, I didn't know what to believe. Sure, maybe the apple pie was an unfortunate mistake or a mean prank, but how could I possibly explain the ornament? I wasn't in the habit of putting moths on my head, and normally you'd think I would have noticed a moth of that size a lot sooner. Keyword, normally. But I didn't notice it at all until I came home and Kaguya pointed it out. Almost like it had been transfigured. Surely such a thing would be impossible, unless it was magic or something. Magic, miracles, superpowers, fairy tales. It all seemed so absurd. And I had plenty of other questions, too. I thought of Snow White. Then I thought of his mother. For better or worse, both of them seemed to have taken an interest in me for whatever reason. You think Snow White would at this point warn us, don't come and see my mother anymore. And this recent string of events only started after I met Snow White. Could someone have lured me into a trap while I was none the wiser? I mean, somehow we ended up in here and we're like, I'm in a weird looking glass world. I'm just saying. Arisu? I'm assuming it's him, yeah. A familiar wispy voice called my name, and I whirled around. Snow White stood behind me, his expression one of annoyance. Snow White, you came! Thank you so much! Whatever. Not like I wanted to. He averted his hard gaze, as if to suggest he wanted nothing more than to get away from me. Why are you here? He looked sincerely puzzled. But to me, that question made even less sense. What do you mean? Obviously, I'm here to see you. You wanted to see me? How come? Didn't I hurt your feelings? For a moment, I didn't realize what he was saying, but then it hit me. So you thought we weren't friends anymore? What? At last I understood. I had wondered what made him stop visiting the lake. And I had figured he didn't want to be around me anymore. After all, his last words to me were painfully harsh. And that apple pie you made was disgusting. With a smile on his face. But I was mistaken. He stopped coming to the lake not because he hated me, but because he was afraid I hated him. Did you want me to hate you? He didn't answer. I looked at him and giggled. Sorry, but it'll take a lot more than that to drive me away. So if you want to hurt me, you'll have to try harder. Mere words aren't enough. Maybe you should just tell me you don't like me. And you want me to stop coming to the lake and annoying you. She probably would still keep going, and then that's creepy, but if you really want to hurt me, you'll have to do something worse. So you wouldn't care if I hated you? Are you kidding? I'd be devastated if you hated me. But if it meant I could heal you, then so be it. I'm stubborn like that. Yeah, I know. Have you been waiting here ever since? Of course. Achoo! Are you cold? Well, duh, silly. Hard not to get cold after sitting outside for hours. In the wintertime. That said, no one was forcing me to do it, so I couldn't really complain. Just then, he took my hand. Huh? CG! He looks like he's going to eat our hand, but I'm assuming he's blowing on our hand? Your hand's cold. Is he wearing gloves? Gloves are hot. It's like the white butler gloves. Oh, hi. Okay. I don't know. Like, it's a weird butler fetish, okay? I don't know. I don't really have a butler fetish, but I mean, a butler cafes. Okay. It's a taste. It's a taste of choice. Just saying. Your hand's cold. Oh. He cut my hand in his and exhaled against it. I'm not going to keep breathing because it sounds creepy when I do it. It was so sudden I could scarcely process it. What was he doing? I was in full-on serious mode at the time, but this threw everything out the window. I feel warmer now. Do you feel warmer now? Yes. All the answers are yes. Yes, thank you. I replied in a tiny voice and nodded. And then I guess I don't need to keep going. What? You monster! What? Nothing. I didn't dare admit I wanted more, so I awkwardly averted my gaze. That would have been funnier to be like, no. The next moment... Got it. He started exhaling on my fingers again. I'm not going to do the exhaling noises, because again, like the me doing it, it's got to sound creepy. It feels creepy to me, so... All at once, my body burned hot. Snow White was holding my hand. He had to know this, and yet he wasn't letting go. You shouldn't come see me anymore. You mean at the lake, or... At the lake or at my house? Can I ask why? You know the reason why. Getting involved with me will only make you miserable. Just tell me the truth, goddammit. The way he spoke seemed to suggest he knew what had happened today. Was this a warning? Was this why he was trying so hard to avoid me? If so, then he was a truly kind person. I don't think that's true at all. Getting to know you has made me the happiest girl in the world. You're happy? Yeah. Tell me, Snow White, why did you come to the lake? Well, obviously, because you wanted to meet me here? You only ever see what you want to see, huh? I call it being optimistic. You came here because you knew I'd be here, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. The truth is, I've wanted nothing more than to see you in person. Well, I'm right here. I know. He let go of my hand and took a step back. Where are you going? Home? And with that, he turned on his heel and strode away. But after a few steps, he stopped short. Does this world feel wrong to you? What? My heart nearly stopped. It felt like he'd read my mind. It's 'cause you're in a dream. After all, I was struggling to process my current situation. If you've lost your way, and then allow me to give you a hint. It's something that doesn't make sense. Something anyone may possess, but the moment you obtain it, it ceases to exist. Anyone can have one. When you open your eyes, it will vanish without a trace. Wait, no, it's what he's talking about, right? It's something that doesn't make sense. Dreams don't make sense. And anyone can possess a dream, but the moment you obtain your dream, it ceases to exist because it's a dream no longer exists the moment you obtain it. Because let's just say your dream, let's say it's a realistic dream, not like an actual like falling asleep dream, but oh my god, I dream of getting married, or I dream of getting a new car. That's your dream, right? Your dream is of a physical object or an event. But as soon as you obtain that object or event, your dream no longer exists anymore because... and then you get a new dream. You know? And anyone can have one. Anyone can have a dream. But when you open your eyes, it vanishes without a trace. And that's, again, dream. Like the falling asleep dream. And knowing you, I'm sure you'll find the answer. Right, Arisu? Okay, so we're going to stop here because we're a little over time. But anyway, yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up here. We'll continue in the next part. So I'll see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.